Hello, everyone, and welcome to part 3 of the Cultivate Closeness module of the Dare to Be Vital course. My name is Dr. Allan Mishra, and we've talked a little bit about how closeness counts. We've talked a little bit about how we need to forgive to rebuild, and now we're going to talk about something kind of interesting, and that is scary sharing. Okay, so let's start again with sort of a little piece of data from the literature, and this is a question for everybody to consider as we go through this practice scary sharing part of the Cultivate Closeness module of the Dare to Be Vital course. And the question is, can you count on anyone to listen to you when you need to talk? All right, very important question, right? Well, do you have somebody you can pick up the phone or go over and visit and listen to you? So the possible answers are all of the time, most of the time, some of the time, little of the time, or none of the time. So think about that for just a second. And then here's the results from this study. And this is a study of almost 2,200 adults, and they were trying to figure out what goes on if you have somebody who's what they call a supportive listener, somebody who will listen to you. And that was if they found the respondents had either answered yes in the context of all of the time or most of the time, they had greater cognitive resilience. Now that's really important, right? So as we move forward in life, we're trying to understand what are the things we can do to prevent things like dementia. And we don't think about that. We're going to do a Sudoku puzzle, we're going to do some workout in the gym or take a walk or a hike, but actually having somebody that will listen to you is clearly important. So you need somebody to be available, or by the way, if you already have this, make sure that you are that person for somebody else. All right. And this starts with this concept of scary sharing. All right. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, we may have hundreds of friends, dozens of friends or followers or social media things, a lot of different things. But what's crucial, and we're going to talk about this in detail over this module and the next one, is to have a series of people, a smaller series of people, by the way, that you can open up to, that you can be vulnerable to and with. All right, that means it goes both ways. So there's sort of a snarky thing. I know people sometimes don't like to trust other people because they might gossip behind your back or they might tell somebody. So here's a sort of a test you could try. I could say to somebody, hey, I've got toenail fungus. What should I do? And if I say that to my friend James and I find out that James tells somebody else and then Susie comes up to me and says, oh, Alan, I heard you have toenail fungus. Well, then I know James isn't a lockbox. By the way, James is a lockbox. My good friend James. He would never tell anybody that I had toenail fungus. But if you start out with something small, relatively innocuous, and then you can kind of test to see if that person is trustworthy. And if they are, then you should open up and consider sharing something. Because guess what? Every single person listening to this right now or reviewing this or taking this course has some issue. Nobody's got it all figured out. And when we drop our masks, and I've lived in Silicon Valley for more than 20 years, and everybody is wearing this ornate mask that says, I've got it all figured out. But guess what? That's not true. And if we are going to be our most vital self, if we're going to ignite vitality, and that's what this course is all about, we need to be able to open up to other people. We also need to be that person for somebody else where if they share something with us, and here's what's happened with me in the last 3 or 4 years when I've done this. I'll share something with a friend, and maybe it's minor, or maybe it's moderate, maybe it's major. But once I do that, it instantly connects us closer. And then that person realizes that I'm trusting them, and they're more likely to open up to me. And that, my friends, is scary sharing. Okay? So why is this important? Well, if we have to optimize our social vitality, which is what this module is all about with cultivating closeness, we need to be closer with our friends, our family, and our colleagues. So quality matters. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about the function of each of our social connections. And then we're going to specifically talk about action because we don't want to be just discussing this. We want to be talking about why and how we can get there. And it really does matter. Okay, here's a paper. Quality conversation can increase daily well-being. Well, I think that's kind of intuitive, right? But this is actually a study that was done. And here's the quote. Results suggest that engaging in as little as one communication behavior with one friend in a day can improve your daily well-being. Well, hello, obviously, but do we actually do that, right? I think that's important to understand, is that we sometimes forget how important our communication with our friends and family are. So here's sort of this gradation of scary sharing. You can start by joking around, okay? And again, we're trying to give you practical, specific tips and just laughing with a friend. We know how to do that when we're in middle school or high school, but try to recapitulate your inner middle school jokester and have some fun with a friend. Catching up, just sit down and connect, just listen. Do something meaningful, listen and talk about something meaningful, as we just said, and showing for your friends that you care. Just tell them, all right? And when you're listening to them, pay attention. Put your phone down. Look at them. Eye contact and paying attention, being aware or being in the moment is an incredible gift you can give to somebody, because most often we do not pay attention. We do not live in the now. And then value the opinions of others. You may disagree, but just tell them you value their opinion and you appreciate them telling you. And you can also talk about sincere compliments, all right? And be very specific, and that's very valuable. Again, this is all data that's suggested. So when you're trying to practice scary sharing, open up, be vulnerable, listen, trust other people, and if somebody shares something with you, obviously put it in a lockbox and don't share it with other people. But this has been the third part of the Cultivate Closeness module of the Dare to Be Vital course. Thank you very much for listening. We're going to finish. The next module is going to be about how to develop your vitality squad.